Today's episode is brought to you by waiting in line, because that's as close as we got to BlizzCon tickets.
Drop the beat.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to High Noon Podcast, the competitive Overwatch podcast. I am your host, the Blevins. With me, as always, is Deathblow. What's up, buddy?
Not too much, man. How are you?
Doing well, except for the horrible defeat and feeling of dread when we were instantly in line for tickets and did not get them.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing. There's nothing that tilts me quite more than wanting desperately to give someone great big gobs of my money and them not wanting to take it from me. So that was pretty brutal, but I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about that as we have a favor to ask all of you.
Yes.
And we'll get to that in a little bit, but
yeah,
unfortunately it didn't get in on the initial wave of BlizzCon tickets.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll divulge my secret tactic that's worked the past 2 years before this year to get tickets, but we'll talk about that a little bit. First, we've got some housekeeping. Death, we got a couple of iTunes reviews.
We do, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. We've got one from random nickname DD504, titled Legends. It's a 5-star review. This is the best Overwatch podcast. Listen to it every week, and I've learned so much from them. Keep on rocking, fellas. Thank you so much for the kind words. Really appreciate it.
Though clearly doesn't actually listen to the podcast if he says he learned something.
Yeah, definitely not at all. But nonetheless, we appreciate you lying through your teeth in the reviews section, nonetheless. Speaking of lying through your teeth, This Has Game left a 5-star review titled The Best Overwatch Podcast, saying this is the best podcast. Not even Overwatch podcast, which the title says. He goes beyond that to just say best podcast ever.
And specifically says the best podcast.
Yes. So we appreciate, again, the kind words and the 5-star review. As always, anybody who hasn't left us a review in the past, that is the number one thing you can do to help us grow the show, find more viewers. That in turn finds us more patrons, which leads to better giveaways, things of that nature. And so we would appreciate it if you would head over to the iTunes page and leave a review.
Yes, absolutely. The iTunes page, super, super helpful. The greatest thing you could ever do for us. Wow. The greatest reasonable thing you could ever do for us. There are some unreasonable things you could do as well. Like get us BlizzCon tickets. But also in housekeeping news, we had, I think we're bordering on superfan status here, or at least very active in the High Noon Discord status. OWT, Overwatch Today, Croak, upped his patron level from $5 to $10. So huge thanks to Croak. And actually Croak, at least for me, broke the story of the new skins and Overwatch event, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I saw it first on the video that he posted. I've got the link in the show notes. But if you check out OWT Croak on Instagram and Twitter, I believe, and maybe YouTube as well, the link will be down in the description, so don't worry about check it. Don't worry about listening to it and writing it down right now.
And safe to say, once we figure out how to do the featured channels section on our page, we will make sure to include this channel in that, as well as he's done that favor for us, and we're featured on his page as well. So big shout outs. Search Croak on YouTube. I looked to see if he has a tidy URL. It does not look as though he does, unfortunately. So
we'll get him there. We will get him there.
Oh, he's got the subscribers. He just doesn't have the URL.
Oh, well, then Croak, if you're listening, I know you're listening. Go change your URL to something awesome.
We'll shout it out.
Yes, we definitely will. But let's move right along to what did we or didn't we do last week. I'll just
do it, man.
I'll just start with me.
Shame.
Yes, there's one, and I'm just
Shame.
going to talk over them now
Shame.
because we don't want
Shame.
to waste all the time on the bells. It's going to
Shame.
keep
We've got
going.
time this episode.
Shame.
Feel
That's
free
true.
to give yourself, 2 or
Shame.
3 more if you really
Yeah,
want to.
that's true. Okay, so
I
I
think
didn't
they're earned.
I didn't play my
Shame.
placement matches. Okay.
Shame.
Not one of
Shame.
them, people.
Well, hey, you don't know if I played one or not.
Shame.
I do.
Shame.
You can't see.
Shame.
Can. I'll double check it right now.
Just assuming that I didn't, and you're right.
Shame.
You're right, but I'm able to check
Shame.
it. It is possible to verify.
Shame.
Yeah, I haven't
Shame.
yet though.
Yeah.
Shame.
So again, I tried to just muster up the courage and the gumption to play, and I will say, I'll give Death credit where credit's due. He offered not once, not twice, but 3 times to go out of his way and be like, "Hey, Blevins, just so you know, you don't even have to play at 11:30, which is past your bedtime. You can play at 8:30 as well. We can make it work." I'm just the worst.
Absolutely the worst. Yeah. And to make it worse, well, we'll move into what I did this week since you didn't do anything.
Hey, I played a lot of Clash Royale.
Yeah, scum.
Clash
So
Royale,
I've been
mate.
on a legendary win streak, essentially. Not the most wins I've ever had in a row, but definitely at the highest rank I've ever had them. So essentially, we recorded this episode last week, and I was probably just inside diamond or just below diamond. Like I'd fallen back out a little bit doing some duo and triple Qs and stuff. I'm now like 2 games away from Masters. We went from Wednesday through Friday without losing at all. Wow. And it was really, really crazy. We actually put 2 of the team into Masters. I lost 2 win-ins in the Masters on Friday. So yeah, that was when we stopped losing on Wednesday and then did not lose again until late Friday.
During your win-ins, of course.
Yes, yeah, of course. It was like right as soon as Deathblow has a chance to get in, they just don't listen to calls anymore. No, obviously that wasn't the problem. I mean, you just keep leveling up, obviously. And when you're on win streaks, like we were playing against firmly Masters teams, people that were well into it. I don't remember seeing any Grandmasters on there, but they couldn't have been far away. We tried to do some math on the win streak, and it was like between 10 and 12 matches without even a draw. We didn't even draw in that time. We just kept winning like crazy. It was quite a run. Dive comp is hugely beneficial for us. We are really, really good at running that. We've also, though, in the win streak, we played a lot of triple and quad tank, stuff like that. I mean, we don't do well on dive comp on every single map, just a good portion of them. And it's really been paying off for us, all the practice hours. We're actually looking to expand our practice hours, and the talks of doing tournaments has definitely gotten more frequent with the team anyways. They're looking for those weekly style events or anything like that we can get into once we can find a weekend where the youngsters don't have like family and school obligations
Don't
and
have
stuff
Boy
like
Scouts to go to.
Right. So yeah, and honestly, this whole week too, the craziest thing about it is we were only 5 out of 6 this week. So we had a sub that was filling in.
Oh, nice.
And he went from gold to diamond in like 2 days. It was pretty ridiculous. Because he had obviously, he was about 500 SR lower than us when we started queuing. So he saw the biggest benefit and the biggest gains from those games.
Yeah, that's awesome. And maybe someday I'll be able to do that as well.
And even worse for you, if you remember Afterthought, he's one of our patrons as well. He's come back to the game now. He stopped playing for a while, but he came back and dragged him up about 350 SR on my alt account, which is now almost diamond, which means you have to act fast because my alt account won't be able to do placements with you very soon.
That's true. And then after the placements, I'm going to be greater than 1,000 away probably anyway. I'm probably going to be like a 1,200.
Yeah, but honestly, I plan on, once I hit diamond, I do plan on tanking my rating on that account. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, I have it so I can play with scrubs that don't do placement games until 3 months into the season and like Peach and stuff. So
whoop, 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 whoop. That's me now. That's the life I live now.
Welcome to wood tier.
Welcome to literal wood tier. But yeah, so To some, Deathblow has been basically taking all of the games that I haven't been playing and turning those into wins for himself, and I am firmly a Clash Royale main.
Scum.
Hashtag make Blevins great again. And speaking of making Blevins great again, let's move on to another favorite section of the show.
Overwatch Today, meme of the week.
We had a really great Overwatch Today meme of the week. It is a cat, a fancy cat, I think is the best way to describe it.
Like British, she's got a top hat on, a tie.
Yeah, like a bowler cap, and black and white, and says, has been playing since Overwatch beta, has a successful Overwatch podcast. That's debatable, and still hasn't finished season 4 placement matches. Hashtag make Blevins great again. So true, so very true, and so very sad.
The one thing I will say is, I don't know if it's your fault. Honestly, I didn't see any Twitter spam headed your way. You know, I didn't see a lot of people reminding you throughout the week. I mean, other than me doing it on Facebook. You know, there wasn't. I mean, you guys spam him. Don't let him get away with this. It's unacceptable.
Overwatch Today is literally in Twitch chat right now. He has an army of people that he can send at us.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, please. Overwatch Today, use all of your followers and their Twitter accounts. Yeah, turn them into, like, their computers into zombies to do your will and tweet.
Oh, no.
And tweet at the Blevins and shame him.
The _ Blevins.
Yes.
So bad. So bad. But besides the meme of the week, you guys being people who aren't literally myself and Deathblow and Overwatch Today have been doing some other stuff. And I think the most noteworthy of that, it's a new Dino Flask video. And I don't want to say it's necessarily the best one, but it's pretty close. It's pretty much up there. It's called Platinum All-Star. And for those of you who are new listeners or who are unfamiliar with Dino Flask, basically Dino Flask remixes anything and everything that Jeff Kaplan has ever said, ever, and edits that into hilarious stuff. And this week he made, I'm assuming it's a he, but it may not be, but for the sake of this, I'm going to say he made a remix of the song All-Star by Smash Mouth with Jeff Kaplan, and it is just amazing.
It is really, really good. If you haven't seen it, if you're not familiar with Dino Flask, make sure you check it out. I can't imagine too many people aren't at least familiar with it at this point.
Yeah.
But one of the funniest things out there I've ever seen related to a video game. I'm not even gonna lie. It's one of the best YouTube memes I've come across to date.
Yeah, and it's like, it's stupid, but it's so much work and meticulous work, and a lot of the stuff is really funny because it's like he's not actually saying it. Like, Jeff Kaplan has said all the stuff, but Dino Flask is basically writing these scripts, right? Like
right.
He just has a voice actor who has already said the words. It's amazing, and absolutely needs to be watched. So links to that will be in the show notes, and through browsing the Overwatch subreddit, not the competitive Overwatch subreddit, just the regular one, which is normally filled with garbage and stupid talentless cupcakes, we did find a nice gem of a highlight by Taimu, and I will give the disclaimer that there is some strong language used, but it is a funny clip, and it's actually an extremely impressive clip of Taimu having good aim with an unlikely character. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, Gats out.
Gats out. So definitely check that out. Link is also going to be in the description there. And one last thing I wanted to mention was, I believe the Overwatch Today giveaway is still going on. And again, huge thanks to Big Fish and Overwatch Today, all the people over at Overwatch Today, included us, High Noon Podcast, in the giveaway, and we have booned quite a bit on Twitter as well as the podcast following. So huge kudos and huge thanks to Overwatch Today for the huge boost that he has given us. And absolutely, we are actually, as of right now, we're 10 followers away from 1,000. So,
Oh, rip! I thought we'd get there.
I thought so too, but we are. It's gonna happen, which is kind of crazy. I've not had a thing that has had 1,000 followers ever. So, definitely appreciated. Definitely awesome. So, let's move right along to.
It's tournament talk.
Back sitting ducks. So, Death. It happened. It finally happened. It's finally over.
It is
Apex Season 2 is finally over.
not a moment too soon, maybe a couple months too late, but nonetheless, Apex has concluded. And something I meant to mention earlier in the show, not a ton of stuff going on this week. So we have the conclusion of Apex to talk about. We have the start of the playoffs for Pitt to talk about. But for the first time, and I don't even know how long, there's no patch notes or anything crazy hitting PTR that hasn't been discussed. So it might be a little bit of a light episode, just to kind of give people a heads up. But yeah, to lead us off, Apex has completed, and that does not come with all good news. Unfortunately, there's a bit of bad news mixed in there with it, but we'll talk about that after we talk about the results.
Yeah, so we saw Runaway. This is a recap from last time. We saw Runaway, and make it to the finals against Luxury Watch Blue, and then we saw Lunatic High take down Meta Athena. We talked about the importance of that before. And we saw Luxury Watch Blue actually take out Meta Athena for the third place spot. So we had Luxury Watch Blue taking third place. And then we had, in the finals of the Apex, OGN Apex Season 2, we had Runaway versus Lunatic High. And the meme died.
Oh, so sad.
They did not run away with it. Lunatic High ended up running away with it 4-2-3. So...
And that's not even the bad news. We'll get to the bad news.
No, that's not even the bad news. But huge, as much as I wouldn't say trash, but we are not the biggest fans of the Apex tournament, mostly because of when it's on and the 10 million year duration of it. But amazing production value, great casters, singing McCree, just a lot of good stuff. If it was on at a reasonable time and lasted for a reasonable amount of time, it would be an amazing. It would be one of my favorites for sure. But we did see Lunatic High run away with the finals there. So, Lunatic High making a case to be one of the best in the world for sure. They essentially won the Overwatch World Cup. Or South Korea did, but a lot of the players were on Lunatic High. Miro, and I believe most of the other players were on Lunatic High as well. I could be wrong, but they've had back-to-back great finishes in the Apex tournaments, and it's going to be interesting to see them dive into the EU and a Overwatch League meta if and when that ever happens. Hopefully sometime before the end of time, but
well, we'll see. We'll see Meta Athena mix in a little bit in the Alienware event this weekend, I believe. So it should be late this week into the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe. So we'll get to see a little bit of that. But yeah, I like you were saying, it's got to be on land for it to be a true test, anyways. So we'll it feels like we'll forever be waiting for that particular result. But
yeah, and speaking of forever waiting, we will not forever be waiting for Apex Season 3, Death. That starts pretty soon.
Yeah, it starts in 2 weeks from today, I believe. Today of recording, which is Monday, so you're looking at 12 days from the day the episode actually releases on iTunes. So we don't have word about who they're stealing and who's going to disappear for a year and a half from the EU NA scene. We don't even know for sure that will be happening. Yeah. I think it's safe to say that Envy will not be among that list. We'll have to wait and see, though. But I have a feeling they took such a long break after coming back. I can't imagine they do one, maybe two tournaments and then disappear over there again.
Yeah.
I think they need to be at home and enjoying the luxuries that come along with being at home, and kind of just get back to focusing on improving as a team. As opposed, it's a different thing to focus on improving as a team and to focus on winning the tournament you're currently in.
Yeah.
I think those are very drastically different goals, and you have drastically different ways of going. Dramatically different ways of going around.
There it is.
Big word, snuck it in there. But yeah, so I don't know. I think they're going to probably stay home. I really hope NRG doesn't go. They're probably a hot team to take because the roster is so appealing. You've got the Seagull fanboys that are going to follow and join the OGN Global or the English broadcast whenever they're on.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see who they decide to take. I would almost like to see Selfless go over there. They've been very, very good and very impressive in the little bit we've seen them since their reemergence lately in the past month or so. And I think it would be really interesting to see them go compete at the top level and see where they stack up over there.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see, even if it's just to see if they can hold their own, some of these, like, what we would call Tier 2 NA teams, or the, like, new Tier 1, I guess, NA teams go over and kind of prove themselves. I think that would be kind of cool. But we'll see. We'll see soon, and we'll keep you updated on that. I think it's going to speak volumes if we don't see Envious go back, because and it's going to speak volumes one way or the other. It's either going to be like, okay, this really wasn't the glamour that we would have expected or wanted, or if they do go back, it's like, okay, well, maybe it was the glamour. Maybe it really is that worth it. And I think it would actually, be kind of cool if they do go back again, because it's like, okay, well, this is like, it kind of builds a level of prestige for the tournament, right? Like Envy, the team that never really seemed like they were super into it, like that have had some internal struggles and turmoils that really wanted to take a break after it. Maybe they were taking the break so they could be ready for season 3 of OGN. It would be possible, but I think it's going to speak volumes one way or the other, depending on what they end up doing.
Yeah, and only time will tell. And like we said, it's 2 weeks away, so we're going to have to know pretty soon. These guys got to make a flight across the world and get used to the time zones and get on a new sleep schedule. So I would think we would see them depart soon.
I'm sure the teams already know. I can't imagine that the roster's not lined up yet, or at least mostly lined up. I just can't imagine that.
Yeah, or I mean, it would be possible to me in my mind that they don't bring anybody. I don't know that they're necessarily going to bring UNA teams as their own region fills out and gets more in depth and talent. They're probably going to want to highlight those teams.
Right.
As much as everybody
qualifiers too. I think
they do.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into the OGNs. Like you said, the production value is phenomenal. We just have personal gripes, but I think it is by far. As far as just numbers go and fan base, people that watch it, it is by far the biggest event in Overwatch running. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on, and it's a big. Even though it will frustrate me if a team I like goes there, it would be great for them. So only part of me is rooting against anybody going there. So.
For sure. So we do have another update. The Pit series. We've got some EU teams here. We saw Ninjas in Pajamas beat the Sin Ninjas. They beat them 2-0. MRD5, what team were you saying that was?
MRDS. That's
MRDS.
Movistar Riders.
Movistar Riders beat Vivi's Adventure 2-1. E United beat Dignitas 2-0. Misfits took out Laser Kittens 2-1. And then we saw actually a second round played, and this is an interesting one, Death, you were talking about.
Yeah.
The Movie Star Riders beat Ninjas in Pajamas 2-0.
So I do think it is Movistar. I don't think it's Movie Star, which is weird. And it's like Riders with an A. It's
Movistar
definitely
Radif.
a weird name. I'm still getting used to it.
Gotcha.
But this is a Spanish team, I believe,
okay.
that, or a South American team potentially. I can't remember which, but yeah. So kind of a group of players we're not as familiar with. However, definitely some names that have been around. Logix and Swoosh come to mind. I'm blanking a little bit on the rest of the roster at the moment, but so they put out a really a phenomenal performance so far to make it into the playoffs like they did. I want to say they were the second seed coming out of their group, and took it to. I mean, Vivi's Adventure, sure, that's not necessarily a breaking headline, but Ninjas in Pajamas is a team that, when EU tournaments are happening, are typically at the top of things, and Movistar Riders took them out handily. 2-0 was the final score there, so that was great to see, and I'm excited to see the rest of Pitt play out. And it's it's weird. It's happening quickly. It's like it's happening right now. We're talking about things that happened yesterday, and they're already playing the next match today.
Yep.
Weird.
Yeah. What do you mean there's not 5 weeks in between these things? But we also have got some NA playoffs as well. The first round of which Selfless beat FaZe 2-0, and I'm losing a lot of faith in FaZe, but I'm also gaining a lot of faith in Selfless, so I can't be too mad about that one. Liquid, my dark horse, of course, beat Rise Nation 2-1, and we still have unplayed CLG versus LG Loyal. I think this is going to be the beginning for CLG to really start proving themselves. If they can't beat LG Loyal, like, they're securing themselves in the lower tier, I think. But
good news, they're up 1-0.
There we go. Live updates. And then we have what I would think is going to be one of the better matches in the tournament. We've got Rogue versus LG Evil in the first round of the NA bracket. So that is definitely going to be one to look out for. Is that playing today?
That should play out immediately after this match, if I'm looking at that correctly.
So we're going to hurry it up so I can watch this. But yeah, that's going to be a great one. I really want to watch that. I got to go get my Rogue jersey so I can take some pictures with it. But we did see a second round, and I'm liking that they're playing these rounds out as soon as they can. We saw Selfless beat Liquid 2-1. And we're also going to be seeing FaZe play against Rise Nation at some point down the line in the lower bracket. So,
something to highlight there, though, the Selfless Liquid match was 2-1. So Liquid came out of groups at 4-1. Their only loss was to Rogue in the group stages. And we talked about how weak that group was on the overall. It was the opposite of a group of death. It was a group of covering all flaws.
Yeah.
It was it was not the strongest rosters, as a lot of NA teams dropped out for various reasons from this tournament. There were a lot of fill-ins, but nonetheless, we make a lot of jokes at Liquid's expense, but this goes to show they are a professional Overwatch team. They're just not at the top of the list of professional Overwatch teams.
At least not right now.
Right. It's like when you kind of have that conversation about, would the Cleveland Browns be able to beat Alabama's football team? Like, of course they would. Like, they're pros, and the college kids are college kids.
Yeah.
So... and that's, maybe not quite exactly what we saw here, but definitely I think it was a big statement for Liquid. It wasn't not what we're used to seeing from them. So many wins stacked up in a tournament. And they came out, won the first match against Selfless, and Twitch chat was scared. They didn't know where they were. They didn't know what was going on anymore. It really looked like they were going to be able to make a run at it, and unfortunately Selfless was able to reverse sweep them in the best of 3 and take it down 2-1. But a really good match nonetheless. Let's call it the match of the week, since we don't get to talk about Liquid and playing well quite often in the same sentence. So we'll make sure we take the opportunity to give them props, and I will try to
I'm going to preemptively call Rogue versus LG Evil the match of the week, even though in our time it hasn't happened yet. But I have to imagine it's going to be a good one.
Well, then what are we going to do? All right, we'll do the second time they play each other. So when they face each other on the wraparound, when one of them drops to the lower bracket and then makes it back through to the finals, that'll be the match of the week next week. So we've got this week and next week covered with 2 teams.
So here's the question. Are you picking Rogue or are you picking LG Evil?
My team runs the Rogue comp. I want them to just demolish everyone.
Man, that means that we're going to be rooting for the same team because I own a Rogue jersey. So,
But you also won that Hammers jersey, and LG Evil used to be Hammers. So you can, in this matchup, you can do the both jerseys thing.
I can do the both jerseys thing. I can.
Yeah. It only doesn't work a little bit. Like, it's mostly a pretty good fit. But
It's mostly
it's a little
it's
bit
for super, right? It's for super.
Yeah. But I've got to root for the team that's running Zenyatta. One thing I didn't mention, one of the other cool things that came out of my win streak this week is I looked myself up on Overbuff. They do the stat much like Master Overwatch does, and my Zenyatta is like top 500 NA all of a sudden. It's like right outside of it, dropping by the minute as I don't play. But yeah, so as we move into the week, hopefully I can get that firmly up into the top 500. I'm really excited about that. I'm like in the 97th or 98th percentile in throwing Discord orbs around the map, and getting the offensive assists. So yeah, I've been really happy with that. And yeah, I mean, Rogue, they run the comp so well that I play it all week. Like, it's what we do like 90% of the time. Yeah. Our Tracer's like sick of playing Overwatch because I don't let him play anything other than Tracer anymore. But you know, I still, like, every time I watch it, all I want to do is like, where's the team? We're not scheduled to practice, but you know, are they in school? What's going on? Can we get them on this weekend? Like, it just makes me, watching them play right now makes me want to play because we mirror their comp and we play it pretty well for our skill level. So.
Yeah, it's always nice to see, and then also root for a team that's doing the same thing as you. Like, it's really awesome, and also to root for a team that you own a jersey of. So, but
I wouldn't know because I don't think to make cool bets.
You done goofed, son. But let's move right along. Got a couple of calls to make. Calls to action, guys. So here's the story. Death and I, we've been planning on going to BlizzCon for a while now. And in my hubris, I just assumed I'm going to be able to get tickets. I've gotten tickets the last 2 years. No problemo. Did not get tickets in the initial runs of the tickets going on sale. So, before you say anything, I did the thing where I had 4 people all trying to at the same time buy 4 tickets with
5 because I was doing it too.
And Death was also trying to buy tickets as well. So we were all there at the second that it went live. Didn't get in. So it's really just a roll of the dice. I was lucky enough to get them the last 2 years. So now it's not out. It's not impossible. We still have outside chances. One chance is we get media passes. We're still very confused and unclear of the process of doing that, but we're looking into it. You can't
currently apply for them, but when you try to, it tells you that it's been filled for BlizzCon 2016. So we don't know if that's a date, like they misdated the page and posted the wrong URL from last year on accident, and we already missed the boat on media passes, or they're coming up soon and we'll have an opportunity to make a bid for them that way.
Right. We're unsure of which case it is. So, but it's an outside chance we can still get media passes. The other chance is, and this is why we're bringing it up, guys, listeners, viewers, anyone, anywhere. If you have an in to some tickets, let us know, please.
Somebody bought 4 because that's a limit 4 per household. They thought somebody would go. Your buddy was going to go, can't go. Now he's stuck with the ticket. Anything. Let us know. If we can get 2 tickets, we will be there under any circuit. If we can get 1 media pass and then 1 general admission ticket, we will be there. We're still continuing to do anything and everything we possibly can. We had other people, Blevins had some friends and his girlfriend was trying to go as well. Yes. We up to 5 tickets we will take, but really any number of them we will jump on the chance and try to get them. So please do let us know if you can help in any respects at all. And if there's anything we think you can do, like putting pressure on Blizzard to grant us the media passes, don't worry. We will give you the information on who you can tweet and yell at and tell them that you need to meet us at BlizzCon, so they have to let us go. We'll let you know if that comes around as well.
Yeah, so just keep an eye and an ear out for us, guys. And if you find anything or if you know someone, just have them, reach out to us at all the good stuff, either at High Noon Podcast or at _Blevins. We will make it work. But yeah, and the other thing is, guys, we did officially make the High Noon Podcast Twitch channel, twitch.tv/High Noon Podcast. Go throw that a follow. One of these weeks coming up, we're going to transition the show over to that just for logistical reasons. I think it'll be a little bit easier to send people there. But if you guys are following, if you're not following, twitch.tv/theblevins and listening live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, you should. But also follow twitch.tv/High Noon Podcast as well. But we do have a couple more things to talk about in...
Oh, let's break it down!
We'll be breaking them down as well. So, actually, I think it happened today, right? This new video thing. We got an announcement or a leak from the French Overwatch or the French PS4 official trailer for this new event and skins that are coming out for Overwatch. It's what's it called? Like Overwatch Insurgents or something?
I don't know. I can't remember, to be honest.
It's something like that, but it is the full video is in the Overwatch Today Croak video, which is posted in the show notes. Definitely check that out. Strong language advisory on that as well. Croak does not have the cleanest of mouths.
No chill.
Which is not a problem, but just want to leave that or put that disclaimer out there. But definitely check that out. The most noteworthy, so it's basically like Blackwatch versus the original Overwatch people and like an Omnic thing. So it seems like it's PvE and maybe a little bit of PvP and PvE mixed in there. I don't know. There's like robots you kill and there's some awesome skins. I think the best of which is the Blackwatch Genji skin that was in that comic, which was awesome.
Really great. He's still like half human, so he's not completed the full robot transition. Yeah. But it's a great looking skin. I definitely agree that is by far the best one. Widowmaker got a pretty solid one. I can't remember what it looked like, but
it's like just human. She's like not purple or anything.
Right. It's before whatever transformation she went through, and definitely that one looks really nice. A lot of people think that's her best one. I'm trying to think. I think there's a Torbjorn one in there we saw a glimpse of, but I didn't quite get exactly what was going on with it. And also there is a slew of terrible blue ones that you can also get that just look awful.
They're so bad.
No words for why they thought those were a good idea. But if somebody out there likes them, that's fine. I hope Overwatch Today uses the picture I put in the High Noon patron Discord to make a meme, because I think it's probably the best thing ever. It's from the Britney Spears music video where she's like dressed up like a flight attendant and they put Mercy wings on her. I really like that. So I don't know. Those ones are interesting, and I hope not to open those, but I have to get the Genji one so that if I ever get good enough at this game to be able to play Genji effectively, I'll have that to use, because that one looks great.
Yeah. Apparently, according to Big Fish, aka Overwatch Today, Torbjorn has no beard in the skin, so literally
unplayable.
Literally the worst skin in the game.
Yeah, can't use that.
Ugh.
Gross. What would you, Blizz? Please, why you do this?
Why not put more beards on? Please?
Right? Can his beard have a beard? Can't we do something like that? I mean, you get innovative. Don't get boring about it.
Ugh, filthy. Is there a way? Oh, I can't even delete skins. Can I? No.
No.
Oh, now I can't open the boxes.
Yeah.
I can't open them. Or else I might accidentally open that, and I can't play on an account that has that skin on it.
All I know is I'm going to mock and shame everybody I see use the skin.
Yeah, they're little baby childs. Yes, I said baby child. That's a thing. And they're not big baby childs. They're little baby childs. And not little baby children. They're little baby childs. But I'm rambling about nothing now because we're running out of stuff to talk about. We do the the patch, the Lucio patch, 2CP patch, Lucio.
Yeah.
Thing?
It's unclear. We don't know for sure when that's happening, but all those Lucio changes, nothing has happened with that yet. 2CP, you still draw on it, even if you beat the heck out of the other team and outplay them the whole time, you'll still probably draw on it. So I think those changes are likely to be pushed in. I haven't background downloaded anything, but I think the event guarantees I'm going to have to download a patch anyways. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to see these go through. I hope it doesn't do too much damage to our dive comp, but we'll have to wait and see exactly how that plays out. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm really hoping, but no word yet exactly. I just wanted to hype it and remind everybody that those things are still in the pipeline and should be coming soon.
Yeah, so would definitely like to see that as well. And we just also got word that there's a Reinhardt spray that has no beard, so
also unplayable,
unsprayable. But last thing I wanted to talk about was we did get another no news. I guess it's kind of news. It's just not super relevant. That Monty and Doa, the current Overwatch Apex casters, the former I believe League of Legends and Dota 2 casters, they're quite possibly some of the most professional casters in the Overwatch space or at least experienced casters, esports casters in the Overwatch space, are going to be the official Overwatch League casters, at least for the road show. So that's kind of cool. Obviously, we were pulling for Hex and ZP.
Yes.
And
we talked about this
John Stamos guy, but
oh, Bloodsire, where's he been? I haven't seen him around.
I don't know. Blood,
I've seen Sideshow around.
If reach out, man. Let's talk, man. Let's get kind of looks like John Stamos guy back in the limelight.
Yeah, grow a beard and come on the show. Let's just get this over with. We can't. No filthy beardless Torbjorn skins allowed on anybody appearing on the show unless it's hexagrams.
I was going to say, we've definitely let Hex on here without beards.
He's got an honorary beard, though, I think.
He?
No, not at all.
No,
yeah.
He's pretty anti-beard culture.
Yes. I don't know that he's opposed to it. He is. I've genetically not allowed to participate in it, I think.
I've had conversations with him on his stream.
Oh.
He's anti-beard. Well, This is derailing completely.
It's fine because we're at the end of things to talk about.
True.
We've got nothing going.
That's true. Yeah, I'm not even going to get into it. We'll let him discuss. We'll let him defend himself when he's back on the show. Hexagrams, get on here, buddy. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about the caster thing a little bit on the patron Discord, trying to figure out exactly how it works, right? Because we don't know how the league's going to work yet, so it's hard to know too much and infer too much about how this will go. But you figure they're going to have 16 cities they announced, I think it was, they put out the model for it. Yeah, they didn't announce them, but so if it's 16 cities, unless they're playing more of a hockey-like schedule where, every day of the week you have the potential to have an Overwatch League match. But if it's more like an NFL model and everything happens on the weekends or on one day of the week, you have everything on a Sunday, you're going to have basically, the A team that travels to the highlighted feature match of the week or matchup of the week. But then you're probably going to have caster teams for just about every single team that's around, and on their home games they'll have to, to play and do the casting for them. I mean, it's how it works with the radio. You have the local announcers. I can't, if it's not John Murphy, I don't want to hear them talk about Buffalo Bills football because that's the local radio announcer. So I think I expect something similar to that, but your Monday night footballs, your playoff matchups, it's going to be Monty and it's going to be Doa. And as much as I love Hex and ZP, as much as I love Hex and ZP, Monty and Doa might have been the right choices for that particular thing, because Hex and ZP are, they're the fun ones. We like hanging out with them because they goof around a little bit, and maybe that's not the face they want to put for. And I'm sure they have the other gear to just be nothing but professional. But I'd almost prefer to see them just working in the having more personality, I should say, in their broadcasts, and letting them continue to do that by having a team sign them or something like that. Maybe the Detroit Renegades, because they're kind of geographically local to them, might be a good fit. Something along those lines. I don't know.
Toronto Blevins
just
team.
spitballing. Buffalo Blevins team. It just sounds better. Everything about it's better.
That's true.
The Buffalo Blevins.
The Buffalo Blevins Bombers. There we go.
Bearded Blevins Bombers.
Oh, the Buffalo Bearded Blevins Bombers. There's the team.
Named it.
Yep, named it. Oh, man. I should start playing Mad Bomber again. I should just start playing Hearthstone again.
Or Overwatch.
Or Clash Royale Overwatch. But yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see what the casting situation is going to be like, because I'm trying to think, like, if there's 16 teams, like, I guess it depends on like how long the seasons are. If it's going to be more like a tournament where like they play, like it's going to be like a tournament, but it's across like multiple like months, kind of like Apex, I guess, where it's like, okay, we're going to play, the Southwest, or we're going to play the West matches, then we're going to play the middle of the country matches, then the East, Northeast, like whatever. Maybe they'll do that, and they'll have like 3 or 4 matches on the weekend that are going to be those local teams, and they all drive, or they all meet. They have like a San Francisco game, and then an Oklahoma game, whatever. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but I doubt that, at least for the road show, that there's going to be 16 locations that they're going to.
Right.
I could see it. I just don't. I think that's what they want, like Overwatch League proper to be. But I think that they're going to do like more of the test for the road show, where there's probably going to be like 4 locations for the matches, like West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, and South maybe, or something like that. But I don't know. I do think that Monty and Doe are going to be like the Joe Buck, like you said, like they're the national guys that, although everyone hates Joe Buck, I think, because they don't have any like team allegiance. They do. They don't have team allegiance. They can't have team allegiance. They have to call the game and the matches, down the line, because they're the national guys. But like you said, like the personality, the zaniness, the less, I guess, I wouldn't say less professional, but less serious casters are the ones that you love. You love your local casters or your local broadcasters, because they get to like call the games like biased, but you're watching the game biased, right? Like you want to root for the home team. So it's like, oh, and Lunatic High gets another headshot and they take the point, but it's like, and LG Evil takes the point. Oh my god! Like they do the same exact thing, but you get way more hype for one team than the other. Like that's the beauty of like home and away teams, right? Like that's what you're trying to bring. You're trying to bring that passion and emotion to Overwatch, to esports. It's like you do that by rooting for one team. This is why Death and I are fully in the you need to boo the team you're not rooting for. We're fully in that camp. You need to be booing. Or at least you should feel like you want to boo. I think if Overwatch League gets to a point where you feel like you want to boo the away team, like you're in a good spot as a sport, even if it's an esport. And even if everyone in the community is against booing, we know, Death, that you and I are going to be there in the back row booing our hearts out.
Yeah, I plan to be livid when my team loses and express that as loudly as I possibly can from the stands. I want it to be awkward for the commentators that have to hear me in the background while I'm screaming at the other team.
Poppy?
I think we've talked about it in the past. That's a big part of sports for us.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things about football, the rivalries, the blind hatred, just siding with your team and the fans of your team without even reading what they have to say or caring what they have to say, because you're on the same team. You know, you've gotta blindly go for it. You know.
And you best believe when we get to BlizzCon, we will be loud at the matches.
Yeah, if you're at BlizzCon and we end up getting tickets and we're there and you're like, man, how am I ever going to find these guys? Go to where the Overwatch esports is playing and
just listen. Well,
all right, section Q,
first
seat F and G. Found them. Nailed it.
First, look for the two biggest guys sitting next to each other, and then listen for the guys screaming, yelling, and booing the non-USA teams and the teams that don't have Pluppy on them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I got to see these rosters before I even know if I'm rooting for USA. I mean, by default, I will if I don't care about the other team. But I could see there being a roster good enough where I'm on a different team when it gets there. I didn't have school pride. I don't have national pride. I don't care about anything. I'm just like the most apathetic person in the world, I guess.
Unless it's the Patriots, in which case you hate them.
Well, yeah. I mean, I choose what to care about, but it's got nothing to do with I guess
you are.
Yeah, but like it doesn't. I don't like the Buffalo team because they're local to me. I like them because my parents made. You know what I mean? Like it was instilled in me by that. I grew up rooting for them.
Right.
I don't know, it helps that I can go to their games when I'm not poor.
True.
But that's never. So they might as well. They might as well be across the country. To me.
I might just become a Sabres fan because I can literally see the stadium from my seat at work. So
it's a good reason.
Yeah, definitely. But that is going to be it, guys. This was, this was a shorter one for sure, but it wasn't like dramatically shorter than anything we've ever done. So I think nice, concise. We're definitely going to have more to talk about coming up because it looks like they're starting to trickle in more Overwatch League details. We're going to have more updates. And, this Overwatch event might actually be interesting and intriguing. So who knows? Maybe we'll talk about it more. But that is going to be it, guys. Remember, huge thanks to all the listeners. Huge thanks to Overwatch Today. Huge thanks to everyone who leaves an iTunes review. Really super helpful. Huge thanks to Raymond34 Camilo, who came in for the first time from Overwatch Today and was in the chat.
And I was for a little bit.
Yes, and guys, if you are wondering how the heck, what do you mean chat? There's a chat? What? What is this? This is a podcast. We actually do record live at twitch.tv/theblevins every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern-ish. Soon to be over at twitch.tv/High Noon Podcast. Death, any last minute shout outs or anything like that you wanna throw out there?
No, nothing big. Make sure you guys, I'm looking at it. There's a timer. We are minutes away from Rogue versus LG Evil. So if you missed that matchup, it is bound to have been a good one. And just keep up to date on Pitt so you'll know what we're talking about next week. And as always, if you want to find us on social media, anything like that, all the show's information is on highnoonpodcast.com. All of our personal information and links for where you can reach out to us is on the hosts page on the website. Again, that's highnoonpodcast.com.
Yes. And lastly, huge thanks, as always, to Matt Torino for the Season 1 support. Huge thanks to Adam Hoek, who graciously made the awesome outro music, which you're about to hear. But, guys, that is going to be it. I am the Blevins for Deathblow. Remember, it's high noon.
Got his boots and he put on his hat. He threw the coin away that same day. It's in his past and he's not looking back. He says, finding mine now, God's my way. He's not good, but he sure ain't bad. He'll make amends for the sins that he has. He says, I'll change the world one bullet at a time till I find mine.
Save us, chat. Send us to BlizzCon. You're our only hope.